Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel from the Finland to the Netherlands. Are you confused as I was to choose single entry, multiple entry or double entry when it comes to Schengen visa? On my previous video I talked about single entry and double entry. And today I want to talk about multiple entry when it comes to Schengen visa. And again, I will talk about if you've been granted a Schengen visa for 1 year. Can you come to the Schengen country for more than 2 times, for 3 times? That's all I'm going to explain to you. And for those who are new here, my name is Pauline, born and raised in Kenya. Growing up was through struggles, and finally destiny brought me to this beautiful country that is the Netherlands. And the reason why I share my life experience is because I want to encourage someone, because I believe life experiences shape us to be who we are. And again, I have a big dream to give back to the village I was born and raised just by starting a girls' education program to help those poor girls who their parents cannot pay their school fees. So by subscribing, by liking, watching, and sharing, you will have helped me so much accomplish this big dream. So, what do they mean when they say multiple entry when it comes to Schengen visa? I'm going to give a simple example so that you can get it well. Let's say, for example, you are traveling from Kenya to the Netherlands, and you want to go to UK, and you want to go to Switzerland. Remember, Switzerland is not in the European Union. UK is also not in the European Union. If that is your plan, then you're supposed to choose multiple entries when you apply for the Schengen visa. The moment you land into the Netherlands, let's say you've been granted a visa for 2 months, and in those 2 months, you want to visit many countries in Schengen area, and you also want to go to like UK, you also want to go to Switzerland. Once you come to the Netherlands, let's say you stay like for 1 month, and then you want to go to UK, you will be allowed to go to UK, and then UK you can stay like, let's say 1 week, and you want to come back to the Netherlands. That one, there is no problem. You'll be allowed to come back to Netherlands, and then say you stay for a little while, and then you also have plans to travel again to Switzerland. You'll be allowed to travel to Switzerland. And then after you are through with the visit in Switzerland, you want to come back to the Netherlands, that one, no problem, you're going to be allowed. And then at the end of your visit, you go back to your country, Kenya. That is what they mean when they say multiple entries. So when you are making that application, make sure that if you have plans to travel to other countries which are outside Schengen area, make sure that you choose multiple entry. And another point you are supposed to note here, it is not guaranteed once you pick multiple entries, you are going to be given that. You might want to have that entry, multiple entry, but at the embassy, they decide to give you double. If they give you double, that means you have to choose between UK and Switzerland. Which one country are you going? Because if it is double, it means you come from Kenya, You land to the Netherlands, you go to UK, you come to the Netherlands, and then you go back to Kenya. If you decide to go to Switzerland and your visa said you have double, then you will not be allowed again to come to the Netherlands. We'll fly from Switzerland to Kenya. So it is always very important to check on the visa sticker. What kind of entry have I been granted? If you had applied for multiple and then they give you single, that means you come from Kenya, you land to the Netherlands, and you stay entire year for the days on your visa sticker, and then you go back to your country. If you happen to go to another country which is outside Schengen area, then you will not be allowed to come back to the Netherlands simply because your entry was single. So it is always good to differentiate between single, double, and multiple. And to summarize it, a single means you come from Kenya, you land to the Netherlands, you stay here for the entire dates written on your visa sticker, and then you go back to Kenya. Double means you come from Kenya to the Netherlands, you have plans to go to UK, that one you can go, and then you come back to the Netherlands, you stay a little bit, and then you go back to Kenya. Multiple means you come from Kenya to the Netherlands, you have plans to go to UK, you can go, you come back to the Netherlands, and you have plans to go to Switzerland, you can do that and come back to the Netherlands, and then you go back to Kenya. So that is the difference between the three. Another point is here. Let's say you've been granted 1 year visa, Schengen visa. Can you come to Netherlands, then you go back to Kenya, and then you come to the Netherlands without getting another visa? Yes, that is very possible. And that's why you're also supposed to check on your visa sticker, what is validation of this visa? And if, for example, it's more than 3 months and it's written double entry, then you can come to the Netherlands, you stay like for 3 months, you go back to your country, you come again to the Netherlands, you stay, let's say, for like 1 month, and then you go back to your country. If you have to come to the Netherlands like for 2 times, you cannot exceed the dates which are written on the visa sticker. I hope that one you understand me well. So I hope you have gotten the difference between the 3 entries. And next time I'm going to talk about how come some people have gotten 1 year Schengen visa, and yet we know Schengen visa, it's for 90 days. That is 3 months. But some people get for 1 year. How comes? So stay tuned. And for now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'll say thank you and be blessed.